In the first play, let's referee the shooter after he releases the ball. Now let's take a look at play 2.
Now let's take a look at play 3. One more time. So let's classify the contact in these 3 plays. What type of foul? Common, intentional, technical. How about violent or excessive? Were any or all of these plays violent or excessive? And then how would I go about determining if a foul is violent or excessive? How are these plays similar? Well, these plays elevate the temperature of the game. These plays force us to be great dead ball officials. These plays increase the likelihood of unsportsmanlike conduct. These fouls threaten player safety, and they certainly test our knowledge of the rules as it relates to the classification of the foul. What type of foul, which affects the penalty enforcement. And now what component of how do we move forward as a crew after putting a whistle on this contact, classifying it as a certain type of foul, and then enforcing and administering the penalty. Okay, so here we see the first play. The ball's being inbounded in the backcourt. Got a couple defenders in the backcourt. C does a good job staying back. Great hustle by Trail. And let's take a look at just initial setup. C's in a great place, free throw line extended. Look at the hustle from a Trail to get down to the 28-foot line. Lead looks to be well positioned as well. The ball at this point is actually up in the rim area. We have a unsuccessful field goal attempt, and now we're going to watch the actions of the shooter. So now, do we have a common foul? Do we have an intentional foul? Do we have a technical foul? And is this contact violent or excessive? Common fouls are personal fouls that are neither flagrant nor intentional. Is this an intentional foul? Well, looks intentional to me. The rule book gives us some guidance here in Rule 419, Article 3. Intentional fouls involve excessive contact with an opponent while the ball is live or until an airborne shooter returns to the floor. So there's that word excessive in Article 3. Is this a technical foul? Is it a foul by a non-player? No. Is it a non-contact foul by a player? No. Is it an intentional flagrant contact foul while the ball is dead? No. Is it a direct technical charge to the head coach? No. Is it an indirect technical charge to the head coach as a result of bench conduct? No. So by definition, not a technical foul. So we're going to take that element away. So now let's think about the actual contact, violent or excessive. So by the way, look at the great whistle mechanics by the Trail official here. Strong mechanic, stops the clock. So now let's think about the contact. So there we can see the shooter's release, ball in the air, and right about here, we get the illegal contact. So now, is the ball live or is the ball dead? Because that becomes important in how we're going to classify this foul and then administer the penalty. So do we have a live ball or dead ball? Well, had the basket been successful, had this field goal been good, then this contact would have been during a dead ball interval. But the ball is still live until this foul occurs. Is this contact violent and or excessive? Answer, yes to both. Look at the physical indicators. We've got a closed hand to the face. We got the student athlete in blue who at the torso, you see his body going backwards. I mean, he was punched directly in the face. This is intentional, this is personal, and this is flagrant. Excessive, violent, those are the indicators that we're looking for when we classify flagrant fouls. So remember, common fouls by definition cannot be flagrant. So this is not a common foul, not a technical foul. It's a personal foul. There's certainly intent here, so it's an intentional foul, and a flagrant foul because of the excessive and violent nature of the contact. Notice, great job by the calling official. We talk about whistle mechanics. We get a strong stop of the clock, and then we get a proper signal to indicate that there's an intentional foul. So let's consider the contact in this play. Yes, it's violent. Yes, it's excessive. Therefore, it's a flagrant foul. It's personal. It's intentional, in addition to being flagrant. Not a common foul and not a technical foul, because once again, it's involving a live ball and with participants who are actually in the game. So let's take a look at play 3 here. We've got the ball being inbounded in the backcourt. We count 7, almost 8 players on the screen. Notice center official doing a good job hustling, but probably hustling himself out of a really good place. Remember, center official, don't leave the players here to put yourself in a position to give some help. So now as the ball's coming towards center side, look what happens. So center starts to backpedal there. And remember, we want to run and look over our inside shoulder and get our eyes on the ball. And center needs to stay back and help trail with that pressure in the backcourt. Trail. Don't be married to the sideline. If C's not there to help you, you can come towards the middle of the floor, especially when you see that hard foul and contact on the ground. Would really like to see your feet moving with a little bit more urgency towards that play. Now, as far as the contact goes, contact's violent, contact is excessive. It's a flagrant foul and should be penalized accordingly. So although flagrant fouls may be personal or technical, the flagrant fouls in these 3 plays are all personal. We noted their violent and excessive nature. Rule 419 states that personal flagrant fouls often involve violent contact, such as striking and kicking. Fighting is a flagrant act. The offender is charged with 1 flagrant foul, disqualified, 2 free throws, and then the ball for throw in at the spot of the foul. Flagrant fouls always result in disqualification.